Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Chapter 5.5 Notes. Today we're talking about solving linear systems of three equations. Our learning target today is to be able to find a solution of a 3x3 linear system of equations. So far we've talked about the 2x2 systems, meaning you have two equations and two variables. All of those were on a plane. Do you guys remember when we would draw the graphs and see where the two lines meet? Well, today our systems, we're doing 3x3s, which means three equations and three variables. Now, I don't have the super cool picture that Ms. Carranza threw up in class, but this little picture over here on the side is kind of giving you a little idea of what it's looking like. Imagine that it's a cube or something and we're trying to find the exact point or the corner to where those lines meet. Okay? So, let's start with checking solutions. Check if the ordered pair is a solution to the system. So, is -4, 3, 6 a solution to all of that? Okay? Now, just like in all of our other problems, when we check a solution, all you have to do is plug it in. So, there's your x, there's your y, and there's your z. Now, you're going to see Miss Carranza and I write the z kind of like that because we don't want it to get confused with a 2. Okay, so anytime you see that line through it, that means it's a z. Okay? So, let's start with, we're going to label these A, B, and C. So, starting with A, we have 3 plus 6 minus 2 equals -6. And we're plugging in -4, 3, and 6. So 3 times 4 is -12 plus 18 minus 12 equals -6. Okay, so combine your like terms. I'm actually going to go with the two negatives first, which gives me -24. And -24 plus 18 gives us -6. So far, we're good. Let's check B. So, we've got 2 plus y plus 4 equals 19. And we're plugging in the same numbers, so -4, 3, and 6. So you got -8 plus 3 plus 24 equals 19. Kind of doing the same thing. I'm going to combine the like terms, the positives right now, which gives us -8 plus 27 equals 19. And then 19 equals 19. Woohoo! Okay, well, don't get excited because we got one more to do. Okay, we still have to plug in for C, and we're going to plug in C over here because we're kind of running out of room. So minus 2y plus 8z equals 63. So we've got -4, we've got 3, and 6, which gives us +20 minus 6 plus 48 equals 63. I'm combining the positives first, which gives me 68 minus 6 equals 63, which gives us 62. Ooh. So sad. Okay, so is that a solution? The answer is no, because it didn't meet all three of those. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, try A, B, and then see if you can fit C in over here, and go ahead and try that out, okay? Go ahead and pause the video and let's see how you do. Okay, so there's all the work. Now, all of them come out true. We all get true statements, so is that a solution? Yes. Okay, remember, it's got to work for all three of them to be a true solution. All right, now, solving 3x3 systems. Our goal is to find the value of one variable and use substitution to find the rest, okay? So, the key thing is we're looking for that one variable. Now, look at our three equations. We're always going to label them down A, B, and C, okay? And now the nice thing, look at C, okay? Z equals 3, we already know what one of the variables is, okay? So what that means is I can take my answer Z right here, and then I can plug it in. And then I'll find out what Y is. And then we'll plug it into that one, okay? So let's take a look. We got the Y plus 2Z equals 5. So we're going to plug in the 3. Y plus 6 equals 5. Subtract the 6. Y equals -1. Okay, so we know what Z is and we know what Y is. So now we can plug it into the X minus 2 plus 2 equals 9, and we're going to plug in Z is 3 and Y is -1. So we get X plus 2 plus 6 equals 9, X plus 8 equals 9, and then solve for X. X equals 1, okay? So when we write our answer, remember it goes X, Y, Z, okay? So remember, X, Y, Z. It's always in alphabetical order, okay? Okay, so, but what if we don't know any of the value of any of the variables? Sounds like a lot of work. Well, then we need to use elimination 3 times to find the value of one variable, okay? So, we're just going to highlight these real quick. And for you guys, if you just want to write A, B, and C. Okay, so here's what the deal is. We've got A, B, and C. Okay, so we're going to do substitution, or elimination of A and B. And we're going to get a new equation right there. But one of the variables is going to be gone. Okay, and then we're going to do elimination of those two. And then we're going to get a new variable, or another equation. And then when we do elimination with those two, then we're going to get our answer, okay, for the first one. And I know it sounds like a lot of work. It kind of is, but we can do this, okay? So, first I'm going to do elimination of A and B. Okay, so the first thing is to write down the equation. 2z equals 1 and x plus 2y minus z equals 6. Now, what we're going to do is every time here, we're going to cancel out the x's, okay? So, to cancel out the x's, I need to multiply the bottom by 3. So when we do that, we get The top stays the same because we're not doing anything to it. And now the bottom changes to 3x plus 6y minus 3z equals 18. Okay, now just like we talked about, the x's cancel, and we get 10y minus z equals 19. Okay, and if you want to help yourself to remember that that's 1z, that's good. Okay, so that is D. But now we got to find the other equation. So now we're going to do B and C. Okay, so we're just going to write those down. And 2x minus y plus 3z equals 7. Okay, now once again we have to cancel the x's. You know why? Well, look at over here. Look at D. Do we have any x's there? No, that's the point. We're trying to eliminate one of the variables. Okay, so to get rid of the x's, I have to multiply the top by negative 2. Okay, so then we get negative 2x minus 4y plus 2z equals 12. And the bottom equation stayed the same, equals 7. Okay, so once again, the x's cancel, and we get negative 5y plus 5z equals 19. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so that right there is E. Okay, so now that we've got those two, we can cancel out one of those variables, because we're going to take this guy and this guy. Okay, so over here we're going to do D and E. Okay, the 10y minus 1z equals 19, and the negative 5y plus 5z, remember those are z's, equals 19. Okay. Oh. Jeez. Mr. Grice made a mistake. Does anyone know what it is? What's negative 2 times 6? That should be a negative 12, which makes that a negative 5. And see, just one small mistake like that, guys, one small mistake can change everything. Okay, so that's why it's really important that you're paying attention. Okay, now I'm going to cancel out the y's. Okay, because that's just the easiest to do. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2. My top equation stays the same, equals 19, and then we get negative 10y, 10z equals negative 10. Okay, the y's cancel. We get 9z equals 9. And now divide both of those by 9. And now we get z equals 1. Good, so now we found out what z is. Now we have to find out what y is. Okay, so to find y, I'm going to plug in to D right there because it's already got two variables, okay? So we've got 10y minus 1 times 1 equals 19. So 10y minus 1 equals 19. Add the 1 to both sides. We get 10y equals 20. Divide by 10. We get y equals 2. Almost done. And now plug it into any of the original equations, A, B, or C. Okay? This equation I got from right there, I plugged into D. So now I'm going to plug into B, because I think B is the easiest. This x plus 2 minus z equals 6. And let's see, z is 1 and y is 2. So we get x plus 4 minus 1 equals 6. X plus 3 equals 6, and then you got a minus 3 to both sides. And you get x equals 3. Okay, so do you see how much work that is just for one problem? You have to be very careful. Get x is 3, y is 2, and z is 1. Just remember x, y, z. Okay? You have to be very, very careful with these. Okay? Now, the back side is actually your homework. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is this video is going to keep going, and I'm going to do little portions of these at a time so you can kind of see my work and see how everything goes. All right? So, if you want to watch, you can keep on watching. Otherwise, your answers are actually right down there. Okay? I'm not telling you which one is which. So go ahead and try them and good luck. And if you want to watch, let's keep on going. Okay? So we need to do A and B on one side, and then B and C over here. Okay? So go ahead and pause the video and eliminate those two. All right, so when we did our first equation, you should have gotten 3y minus 1z equals negative 1. And then, how many of you guys got to right there? Good. You're doing the right thing. And now when you divide both sides by 7, well, what do you know there? Look at y equals 0. That's awesome. One of the variables canceled out. That's good news, okay? Because now we can take that and plug it in. Because once we plug it into there, well, 3 times 0 is 0, and then you get negative 1z equals negative 1. Divide both sides by negative 1, and you get z equals 1. So now we've already got two of the variables, which is great, because now all we do is plug it in. So I'm actually going to plug into c, because I think c is the easiest. X plus 2 times 0, negative, or not negative 1, you get 1z equals 0. So x plus 1 equals 0, x equals negative 1. And if you look all the way at the bottom, that's our first one, negative 1, 0, and 1. So we did everything right. So negative 1, 0, 1. Okay. Now this one, unfortunately, is not going to be nice like that. Okay? So, A and B. B and C. Go ahead and do those two, and then I'll check in when you're done with that. Okay, so after doing the first elimination, these should be your two equations. And now, after that, you're going to do 13y plus 11z equals 26, and 7y minus 1z equals 14, okay? Now remember, at the top, the things that I canceled each time were the x's, because we want to get that variable gone first, okay? Now, if you want a hint, I know these are big numbers, but I would cancel the z's actually right here, because that's going to be the easiest, okay? So go ahead and try that, and see if you can finish the rest of the equation, all right? Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so there's the rest of my work. Now, right here, you should get y equals 2. When you plug in 2 for y, I used that equation because to me that was the easiest. And you get z equals 0. And then you plug into an original equation. Okay, I used c, and then I plug in y, I plug in z, and then we get our answer of x equals -4. So overall, your final answer would be -4, 2, 0. Okay? Well, that's going to be it for Algebra 2, Chapter 5.5 notes and the practice. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great rest of the day.